Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. My name is Liz and I'm a part-time reseller in Maryland. Have you ever left a sale and regretted it? I know I did this past weekend, and so I decided to go back and I couldn't believe all the things I had missed. Let's go check them out. Okay guys, I'm gonna jump into this haul. At first glance, I thought I was going to be gravely disappointed by putting all my eggs in this estate sale basket, but when I started to really keep searching around, I was pleasantly surprised. So many of these items are from other countries, Germany, the USSR, and Scotland, to name a few. So the first thing that caught my eye at this sale were these sort of unusual gnomes. Something about their coloring and their shiny surface stood out to me, and they looked very well made. And so I bought these. I had no idea. I paid $50 for them, including this bigger one. He's creepy. I mean, some of these guys are cheerful. You could totally see Snow White hanging out with this guy. But take a look at this one. I mean, that's beyond grumpy. And the worst one, and this is kind of how I sort of figured out they were made in Germany for some reason. Things made in Germany have that creepy factor. Snow White is definitely not hanging out with this fellow. I don't care if he plays the accordion. Anyway, so I took a chance. I did not look these up. They weren't marked. I had to use Google Lens to look these up. And these are German, which I did suspect just based on the style and a little bit of that creepiness, but also how well made they are, how well formed, and the details are just great. These are Hertwig Endert. I'll put the name up on the screen for you guys. And these sell really, really well. I'll put up one or two comps. Because I know this larger one, let me just show him to you a little bit better. This larger one is worth a little bit more than the smaller ones. And the smaller ones are probably like 8 inches high. But this guy's probably more like a full 10 inches high. He looks real serious about his work. So that was a nice surprise. So again, this is an example where you kind of go on instinct. You do have to take a risk, but that will pay me well for my time. I had no idea what this was, but it had a certain je ne sais quoi. It's Edelweiss, which I have seen before, but not that often. I'm sure you've heard that song many times in music boxes. And there's a pickaxe. So this is really, really cool. Made in Western Germany. Now that's a clue, right, that it is vintage. We don't call anything Western Germany anymore. So that was a neat little piece and has more value than I would have suspected. Okay, other German pieces are these. Now I'm not going to be able to say this. Erzgebirge, oh goodness gracious, Erzgebirge, I don't know, I feel like the Swedish chef. These are little smokers, they call them. And that's not an insult or a judgment. These are made to put incense in and then, sorry, I was trying to show you his face. And then smoke can come out like this one's smoking a pipe. They're just really neat. I love how there are so many different ones. What is that guy carrying? It almost looks like a beehive, but I'm imagining it's probably a bird cage. Someone help me out. This looks kind of like a police officer, but he has a ladder. Not sure. Anyway, I just think they're really cool and they do have good value. I have bought some of those in the recent past and I did not know what they were. So I wanted to share them with you so that you would know what they were and you would know they were worth picking up because people like to collect all the different like occupations and outfits, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, this guy's beard is great. Now these are from the USSR. These are nesting dolls. Oh gosh, am I gonna be able to say this word? I do not speak Russian. Matryoshka? I made that up. Was that good? Help me out here. Patrice, I know you can help me. So these always really sell well for me. They both have stickers or stamps on the bottom. They're so cute. People just really like them, even if they don't collect them per se. So that's why I picked those up. I already knew that, but maybe you didn't know that. This is not gold. I don't even think it's gold filled, but this is a sweetheart bracelet. And when you see, even if it's costume jewelry, a piece of pretty costume jewelry with its original box, you should always pick it up. This particular piece of costume jewelry really is a knockout. I figured it was worth like $50, and as you can see from the comp, it's worth a lot more. I have seen these sweetheart bracelets before, but not one that is this detailed. So I really, really liked that a lot. Now, paperweights are sort of my nemesis, but these were signed on the bottom, which you should always look for a signature. These are from Scotland. They're Caithness. Some Caithness paperweights are literally like $4 to $6 on eBay. I looked at the solds. Some, if they're unusual colors or they have a neat title or something, can be worth $100. So it's worth at least checking them out. So I wanted to mention that. I always pick up these little wooden figures. These kind of remind me of like little Christmas figures that you put out. I don't really know if I understand everything that's going on here, but it's a choir. The only thing that I don't like about these is they kind of look like the Darth Vader choir. But anyway, I'm sure you guys know that some of Darth Vader's outfit was inspired by some uniforms and events in Germany. So maybe that's not surprising. Not a ton of value, but I always pick stuff like that up if it's inexpensive, which it was. And now I have two of these sort of like, I think they call them German Christmas trees or German pyramids or Christmas towers. And this is kind of like a science geeking out moment. But when you light these candles, which sounds terrifying because these are wood, the heat, the hot air rises. And when the hot air rises, it pushes this. And then, oh, isn't that sweet? Then you have a rotating nativity. I just realized something. Jesus is missing. Oh boy, maybe he's in the box. I'll check. There were one or two little pieces that were floating around in the box. So I will double check and see if I can find Jesus. I'm not making a joke there. Okay, but these types of things, you should look for them. People love them and collect them, and they are really, really cool. Value's pretty good. And the towers, the value's even better. I really like this one. It's got angels on top. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I just love it. Look at the sheep. They're awesome. Oops, I bumped the other one. This one has the wise men. It looks like Jesus is in this one. That's great news. So you should look for those. And then the last surprise that I had at this sale. Now, again, I don't know if I mentioned this in the intro. I guess I didn't. Maybe not in detail. I had already gone through this sale and I had left. It was a little bit disorganized and nobody knew prices and we weren't really even sure which things were or were not for sale. I went back an hour or two later, and many of these things I got an hour or two later, and all of us had missed them or passed them up. I'm not sure what happened. But you know what? Good. I kept searching, even though it was 2 hours later. So I saw these little metal animals. I think this might be a fox. The face looks like a koala, doesn't it? These are not visibly signed that I can see. But they stood out to me, something about the colors. Well, look how small this is. The colors and the shape, they looked modernist to me, and I grabbed those, and Google Lens helped me find out that those are Walter Bossi. That's an Austrian artist, and these are bronze modernist figurines. Great value. They're just little tchotchkes. Have I ever seen these before? No. Did I know what they were? No, I did not. Do you now know what they are? Yes, you do. So that's good. So look for small metal animals with an unusual silhouette or colors. Even if they're not signed, if they're $1 or $2 and they're worth $60 to $70, it is completely worth it. So that pretty much sums up the haul here. I was pretty excited to have so many good finds when I thought I had a bust of a day, and I wanted to share them with you so you would know what to look for when you go out there. I hope you find some great stuff that surprises you in a pleasant way. I hope you guys pay yourself well for all of your time, and I always hope that you never stop searching. I will see you guys next time.